Hello and welcome to the brand new and improved That Seems Unfortunate, where instead of just talking about pointless things, we make pointless things instead. And I'm here with Steve Breinstein to help me do that. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Are you excited for the new format?
I'm beyond excited for the new format. I've been waiting for this moment for like 2 weeks now.
For like a week.
Yeah.
Normally it's just here. I've been waiting this for like my entire life. No, I've been waiting like a week.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this for an amount of time that can be measured.
An average but adequate amount of time.
Yeah.
But don't worry, everybody. We're still going to be making jokes, undoubtedly.
No funny here.
That's a lie.
Give up on funny.
Don't lie, Steve. Steve, don't lie to yourself.
We are only serious now. We're professionals.
Steve, don't lie to yourself. Half of the things you're going to make on the show are going to involve puns.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Do you remember the last time we tried to write? It was a serious business where we came up with very serious ideas like an underwater city with Neanderthals in it. That's serious stuff, man.
See, that's the problem. I don't remember that at all.
Do you not? Well, it's been a while since we did the first week of like making a show.
Very, very good point.
Where the plot line had
Neanderthals in an underwater city. You know what? I'll have to go back and listen to our previous show. Really? Did I?
Yeah, those were both you.
See, this is how much you can tell how much I pay attention to my own work. Oh my god, I need help.
I don't even know if that shows like what we're going with anymore.
I don't know.
Could go back to it.
I don't know. But before we get right down to the nitty-gritty of the things we're going to be making, I want to start off with a story to end the former TSU as we started it with a lovely D&D story. See, we just got a new DM, okay? And we only were in our second session yesterday.
That means Dungeon Master.
It does. You're right. Good job, Steve.
I was making sure everyone else knew.
Yes, good job. But yeah, we got a new DM, and her name's Rachel, and she's really new to the DM thing. She's trying to make it difficult for us, so she decides to throw a storm giant at us. Now, this thing had a health of 230, and to give you some comparison, my maximum health was like 23.
Nice.
And someone else's was like 30, someone's was like 50, but he was like the toughest of us. Now, you would have thought like at least two of us would have died. And it would have taken like a solid hour in-game, not even in-game, like out of game, to beat this thing. It took us literally 5 minutes.
Nice.
It took us 5 minutes because we all had like uber strong attacks because this thing was already laying down and I got to do extra damage and this other dude got to like throw way too many punches for his own good. And the one time the Storm Giant gets a turn to try and hit us, it crit fails and hits itself.
Wonderful.
It just, I'm gonna roll terribly and hit myself and do damage to myself. So after we beat it, Rachel just like stands up and briefly leaves the room, shocked and disappointed. Because she's like, I tried really hard to make it difficult, and you guys just, like, murdered it. Like, Thomas, our lovely frog character, don't ask. He decided to kill it by reaching his tongue inside its head and pulling out its brain. And I thought you were a lawful good character. I didn't know you could be that brutal.
Huh.
My god.
How about that?
And Steve, I told you before we started getting done, I would also put a minor product placement in the show, and it's mainly because I found it in a Circle K, and it's really good. There's just stuff. It's an energy drink called Joker, right? And it's really good. And apparently, it has like twice the caffeine that Red Bull does.
Well then,
I don't know how long I'm going to live if I keep drinking
That seems dangerous.
I don't know how long I'm going to live, but you know what? At this point, I'm too invested to stop.
Too far.
We've actually tried looking for where else we could find it, and we can find it in no other place except that Circle K.
What if it's like drugs?
What if
you're
I don't
ingesting
care?
liquid drugs?
What if I don't care?
Well, then I guess we kind of
Here, you know what? You know, Steve, let me put it to you like this. If it were drugs, it wouldn't come in regular 0-calorie fruit punch, cherry limeade, and like a mango flavor, okay? I don't think they do that with drugs. I don't think they do that with drugs. If they do,
hey, we live in the future, man. It's happening.
We're in the future, okay?
The future is now.
The future is now, and it's coming to kill us.
When I said the future is now 2 seconds ago, we're in that future from there now.
Steve,
that's future. We're yesterday's tomorrow.
Steve, I didn't think we were going to get into another pointless philosophical debate.
Me either, but have we ever? Before we do it?
No,
Dude, what if we all see colors different?
Steve, not again! We already did that once!
Alright, yeah. No, yeah.
That was already horrible.
We can write a show about that.
We will. I will.
That... What could you even do with that?
You know what? Here, to start us off, okay? Here's a show idea. It's a show about philosophies, but... everyone's philosophy is true at the same time in the same place. And I'll give you a concrete example. They live in a country. It's all one country. And one guy's philosophy says democracy is the best way to do it. So they have a democracy. But then you got a Nazi who says fascist dictatorship, and it's also true.
Isn't there an anime about that?
I don't know. I don't watch anime very much.
I don't either. All I know is there's an anime where all the characters are, like, countries.
Oh, Hitalia. That's what that is. Yeah, but no. I'm talking about one country and just a bunch of different people that don't represent anything except, like, different philosophies.
What if they don't realize that it's happening? What if there's just, like, a bunch of people in a room and they're having, like, a stupid philosophical debate, and as they're saying different things, like, it's happening to people?
You know what? That's actually a really good idea.
We're gonna toss that in the hat.
Yeah, we're definitely tossing that in the hat. Because, here, how about this? I already came up with a season finale for it. At the end of it, it's all one big social experiment done by the actual government.
Possible.
It's the actual one. Like they're all kept in dream states. It's like MK Ultra, right?
I need a pencil. Like what?
What?
Like what?
MK Ultra.
What is that?
You never heard of MK Ultra?
I don't think I have.
MK Ultra was a study done by the CIA back in the 1970s that they didn't want people to know about. But it eventually reached mass media fame when the details actually came out. MK Ultra was a government experiment in mind control for citizens, and they did it a lot by using like LSD and stuff.
Really?
They were gonna mind control like the entire mass of American citizens, especially during wartime.
Huh.
It ultimately failed, thank God. And
I would hope.
And they didn't get anywhere with it. But the US government really tried to keep it a secret until I believe it was like the early 1990s when the details surfaced.
Huh.
There. We can have a show. We can have a show about MK Ultra.
Okay. I'd probably need to know a little bit more.
Well, see,
about the experiment before.
Well, I can tell you from what it was. Like, the experiment included heavy exposure to drugs such as LSD and mushrooms, sensory deprivation chambers, and basically other chambers like the solitary confinement ones at prisons.
Oh, I know sensory deprivation chambers. I've seen Stranger Things.
See, that's part of it.
I've seen Stranger Things.
I've watched it.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
I have not.
Oh, it's so good. Do you have Netflix?
No, I don't.
Ah.
I'm the one loser among his friends who doesn't have Netflix.
Dude, I'd give you my Netflix so that you could watch Stranger Things. Well, not give you, obviously, but
I mean,
I'd
probably use it a lot more for probable other things than just Stranger Things.
I don't use it very much.
Why don't you use your Netflix?
I use Hulu.
Wait, Hulu? Why Hulu? I mean, other than Netflix.
Well, I've watched a lot of the stuff that Netflix already had, and now like Hulu has like up-to-date shows. What the heck? Oh, my Hulu has like up to date stuff, so like I can watch new shows, and like it has a few shows that Netflix doesn't have. Netflix is really good for like movies and older stuff, but
see, I like older stuff.
yeah, maybe I'll spot you a Netflix password, and then you can make your own profile so that you can have your own list and shows. And, yeah, it'd be good times.
God, it's just like that time the frog person turned himself into a meme.
Sam?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, wait, yeah, you did turn into a meme.
I mean, technically.
Yeah, well...
Haven't I always been one?
We're all memes in our own capacity. But no, like, before the frog in this D&D, he made, like, a very rough sketch of a D&D character who, at the end of the only session he was in, found a unicycle and ascended into memehood.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, the memehood. He became Dat Boy.
Good times. Okay, so our formatting for at least this week, we're going to try to come up with a cemented formatting for every week. Indeed. But for this week, we want to take ideas that we have for TV shows, books, movies, and music, and just kind of boldly list them, and then kind of narrow down what it is we like and don't like.
Wait.
And what we're going to be focusing on.
How boldly?
I don't know. It was an adjective or a verb that I tried to go for.
How boldly are we going to be listing these things?
It's going to be in the boldest font. Also italicized.
So are we talking like I'm going to scrawl it on my walls to make sure I remember this?
I'm going to shout it to the heavens.
That's not going to help me remember it. That's only going to make God hear me.
Whatever. It's just going to be recorded.
It's like, hey, God!
If you ever forget.
I got some ideas!
Yeah. So yeah, that's our idea for now. And we're going to try and roll with it. And it'll probably run into speed bumps along the way. But don't they always?
Gonna have speed bumps. But here's an idea for a show. And it's going to be really stupid. And it's going to be for one episode only. And it's going to be a documentary.
Isn't that just called a movie?
No. It's a documentary. Okay?
Short film?
You know what? Sure, it's a short film. Let's go with that. Well, actually, it's, as I said, a documentary.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a documentary, and bear with me here, the documentary of the history of memes.
Wow, that just sounds like an idea.
It's a pretty bad idea, but I really want to go through with it. Just make it like a quick 15-minute short film about the history of memes and how they came to be.
I think those exist.
They do. They actually do.
Yeah. There's like a channel on YouTube that does like individual memes and says like, how did this become a meme?
Well, I can tell you right now that memes actually came roughly, I won't say originated.
From ancient Rome?
No.
Like everything else?
No. But, the memes found their first mass popularity on 4chan.
Well, yeah.
It was obviously 4chan. It's always 4chan.
Everything's 4chan.
Everything is 4chan's fault.
So we had the TV show idea from a few weeks ago that we talked about for a bit.
Yeah.
With the guy that had to kill that guy.
Yeah. A guy who had to kill another guy because that guy was evil and the main guy was good and
pure,
it was pure good, and he had to kill the evil guy, but he could still retain the good.
Yeah. So we're gonna list that for TV shows as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, I wish I had the notepad idea. Whatever. Maybe in future weeks I'll have the notepad idea working, but we're kind of in a bind this week.
We are winging it.
Maybe I just like hold off on editing until tomorrow. Maybe this episode goes up Friday, so I have time to edit.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm glad I didn't make that joke then. I'm glad I didn't make the joke I wanted to at the beginning of this episode.
Oh, were you going to make a Thursday-based joke?
No, I was going to make...
an inauguration joke?
I was definitely going to make an inauguration joke.
What was that? You cut out.
I said I was definitely going to make an inauguration joke.
Okay, yeah. That's what
Most certainly, because that's coming up tomorrow.
Isn't it going on right now? Oh, well, the concert is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and welcome to the last day that Obama is gonna be president. It's the last day we have a black president, and well, as the internet says, once you go black, you never go back. But in this case, America did.
Yeah.
We certainly
immediately. In record time.
Yeah, and I'm sad to see him go because, I mean, well, looking at what we have coming up.
Yeah. All right.
Biden for president 2020.
So, do we have any other like show ideas that we've discussed? Oh, I have one. Do I have one? I had one.
I was like, I have one. Wait, do I have one?
All of my ideas come from my own life.
See, all of my ideas come
not
from
all of them.
all of my ideas come from my brain when I'm stuck in this loop of like just thinking about the world and then thinking about just other things and then like religion or politics. And then I just get show ideas or book ideas or the motivation to live.
I had a book idea last year that I worked on for a bit and then scrapped.
Oh wait, I actually have a really bad book idea.
Do you?
It's my autobiography.
Oh, I'd rather do the memementary.
See, you came up with that name. You are now committed.
No. I don't wanna
No.
be. I wonder if I can find my. I wrote like the first chapter of this book last year, and I don't want to look at the chapter because it probably sucks.
Oh wait.
But I just want the idea back.
I'm sorry, I was having a moment. I was having a moment with my new vape juice because.
Same.
No, you weren't. You
I was
don't
not.
vape.
That was a lie. I wasn't. You're right. Good call.
Correct. But I just got new vape juice called Menage a Trois, and they said it was like strawberry cheesecake. So I decided to open it and smell it, and I realized that I had definitely smelled that in someone else's vape before. I don't know where, but I know someone I know has it, and it's really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this book.
Okay. Great. Back on track.
It's a lot different than I remember. Is this the same story?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't write it.
Why do I have the same story 4 times? Wait. Is this a different story? Do I have 2 books?
That's a question only you can answer.
Listen, I'm trying.
I was like, boy, I don't know. I'm not you. See, I told you we were still gonna be funny.
This does seem like 2 different books.
What if it's just one book and you decided to write it in 2 different perspectives? A lot of people do that.
No, because the characters... I use the same names for everything because I'm terrible at names, and the names have, like, different situations.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So the one book is... When did I make these? What the heck? Okay, so there was one that was about a guy who became a college professor.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember. He had like classes full of students, but he noticed that none of them would ever come to his office hours, and he'd never like see them outside of class. And so he looked into it and found out, I think, that the university was actually like a test, like a kind of almost like a lab that tested like this hybrid form of student to where I think there's another book that does this, but not in the way that I'm saying, but like they would pretty much predestine students to what they were going to do outside of college by like forcing them to study one like line of courses or one line of knowledge, kind of like robots almost, but it's people. Do you get where I'm going?
Kinda.
I think I explained it horribly. What was that?
Like, kinda? Because, like, the way that I immediately interpreted that show and the way you described it were, like, way wrong. Like, they were not similar at all.
So it follows the professor.
Yeah, I mean, I got where you were coming from, and it was good, and we should totally do it. But the way I thought it was going was not the way it went.
Yeah, I kind of like a lot of the things I do have not twists, not like Shyamalan level twists,
not Shyamalan twists.
Different, like, I guess twists would be the word, but not to a Shyamalan level. And by that I mean they're good. They're good twists. Shyamalan level is bad twists.
A misleading intro.
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of my like one-off ideas were. Like, I had the one idea of a romantic comedy almost about this couple, but then at the end you realize that the guy was just doing a psychological test, and it all set up to him like setting up this perfect night, like he was about to propose, but then when she finally like enters the room where he would be proposing, he's like faking a suicide.
Wait, what?
And so he was running this test to see how someone would react to having such a dramatic shift of emotion. And so throughout the first like majority of this movie, you're convinced it's like a romantic comedy.
So
but then
this guy's a psychologist?
Yeah, but then at like the like big turning point, like about, I don't know, 2/3 into the movie or something.
Yeah,
it's actually just been a test the whole time, and he fakes a suicide just to see how like it would react, like a person would react.
That's actually really good. But
yeah.
Here. Here's what I thought you were gonna say about that professor thing. Okay, I thought you were gonna say that, like, you know, since he only sees the kids in class and he never sees them outside of his class, that he was in purgatory and it was like a perpetual hell that he was in, teaching forever, and he had to find a way to break out of it.
That would be pretty cool.
That's where I thought you were going, but I was wrong.
The morals kind of lie the same.
Yeah.
Only he's dead in that one.
Yeah. Or you know what? Or as far as we know, he's part of a social experiment where he's hallucinating that entire thing.
Yeah.
He's like in a virtual reality.
The thing that gets him to kind of look into the school and everything is a student actually comes to his office. And he finds out that like the student isn't supposed to be there. He like snuck in to like try and convince his parents that he was smart, when really he was just like a flunky dropout kid.
Yeah.
But he snuck into the school and they didn't catch him. And so that's what makes him realize that there might be something going on, and so like the two of them kind of dive in. And the whole like moral, I guess, behind the story is deciding like to do your own thing versus like security and safety, because since he had so much time during office hours where no one would ever come in, he like started exploring hobbies and like getting more into his hobbies, and specifically music at the time. Like he started like getting back into music, which is what he had wanted to do, but he didn't end up doing it because he wanted to take a safer teaching job. And so like the big climax, I guess, would be him finding out that it's all an experiment and being like getting an ultimatum of like, you can stay and be a part of this experiment and we'll make sure that your whole life is taken care of, or like you can leave and risk losing it, or like he could, I don't know, run away and risk being like killed by the people who are running the experiment to make sure it doesn't get out. This one I really went into detail on about the whole story, and I was like,
yeah, you did,
really into it, but I'm just really unhappy with how I started it, and so I kind of dropped it for a bit because I don't know. I'm really good at coming up with ideas, but in terms of writing it into something that's readable, I'm terrible at it.
See, I was not ready for it to be that detailed.
Really? Dude, this is why I was so on board with making this. This is why I came up with this idea for where we go with the show, is because I have so much, like, just sitting here.
Just ready for it. Meanwhile, my library here is completely empty. If anything, I would like write a book that totally ripped off Animal Farm.
Animal Farm is pretty cool.
It was really good.
See, I think if anything,
I would be writing political manifestos.
You're much better at putting the words like onto paper, I suppose, than I am.
Lies.
I think you'd be better at it than me.
No. I'm better with coming up with ideas rather than actually putting them into action.
Hey, this document's called Movie Plot. Oh, it's the same movie plot I had from before. Wait.
Or is it?
No, it is. It is.
Okay.
I just grabbed a weird spot in it.
I'm just like, wait, what? Like, apparently whenever you were doing all this stuff, I was sitting in, like, my room, like, working on character builds for things.
Hey, characters are important because...
Oh, no.
I am terrible at characters.
No, I meant in, like, Skyrim and Fallout.
Oh. Well, then.
That's
a different situation.
Totally different thing. No.
Man, I wish I could remember the other book that I had. It had a lot into it. I just don't remember any of it, and the only chapter, like, draft that I have in my documents, like, doesn't give enough insight into what exactly I was trying.
Yeah. See, I think I would be good at writing non-fictional sociological novels.
I could see that.
Just like, okay, so, this is why that doesn't work. But let me tell you what will. I'm like a salesman in a book. But no. I don't know if I said this on the show yet. I'm pretty sure I did, but I'll say it again. And it's that my friend had this really good idea. I almost said that she had this really idea.
You were going to say it on last week's show, but we got so off topic that we never talked about it.
Right.
I remember seeing it on the list, but you never said it on the show. So this is new to me too.
Okay. So she had this really good idea for a book, and it's a second-person book. So it's directly addressing the reader, right? It's kind of like second and third person, I suppose.
Yeah.
But over the course of the novel, the main character that's telling you the story falls in love with the reader. Like, just think about that for a minute. Imagine having something like words on paper that represent a character fall in love with you.
That makes sense.
It's really good too, and I want her to do it.
It could almost be something like the person. I'm trying to figure out because it can incorporate into like even modern with social media and everything.
Yeah.
It could be somebody like writing a blog or something, whatever the modern version of a blog is. I realize blog has kind of dropped into like
it's more of a
2000s.
Vlog. Vlogs kind of took their place.
They could like be making that and then have you be technically like the only person reading it.
That's weird.
And so, yeah, there's a lot you could do with that. That's actually really interesting. I can't come up with anything off the top of my head specifically, but yeah, that is really good.
She actually sent me the first page of the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's more like the first 2 paragraphs of the book.
Hey,
but
it's progress.
It's like the character has a name, and I immediately from seeing that I realized that this novel was probably going to be more towards the audience of either women or gay men. As the main character is a male.
That would make sense.
But I mean, hey, you know what? If you want to read the book anyway, do it. There's nothing stopping you. It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's my one contribution.
Why can't I remember what this book was gonna turn into?
Are you having issues, Steve?
I am. I really am.
Are you having issues because Three Doors Down is playing at Trump's inauguration, apparently?
Well, yeah, but those are completely separate issues.
Listen, I'm having issues, but that's a totally different one, okay?
That is my distress of not remembering this idea.
That's the sound I make whenever I'm distraught.
Ah.
Mine was just, substantially louder.
Yeah. Crap. Because the professor one was an idea that I came up with during college, like during the first semester here.
Okay.
But the one that I'm trying to remember, I think I came up with either senior year or the summer before college.
And I'm just here like, I would write political things that would probably just end up on the internet for free.
That's it. We can mix. I know I'm much more... I was about to say much more better because I was trying to say more comfortable, but I also wanted to say better, and I almost said more better.
More better. Grammar, because that's what you need to write a book.
Yeah. I think I would say that I would prefer fiction, but could do nonfiction, and I think we can find a nice, like, middle ground where the two of us just have it work out well.
Yeah, see, I'm good at nonfiction because I'm really bad at, like, making up characters and making their own personalities to, like, distinguish them from one another.
Yeah.
And
I'm not
having
too
them
great
enter
at
and exit,
characters.
it's difficult.
I'm not too great at characters.
Yeah, no, that's where I fall flat. Settings I'm good with, plots I'm with, and shouting things that probably disregard all forms of authority I'm really good at.
You know what I just found?
What'd you find?
A plot outline of the book that I already know what the plot is. See, here's my issue. I name all of my documents, or I don't name any of my documents, I guess, is my problem.
Yeah.
Well, I name a decent portion of them, but I don't name enough of them.
Not enough. It's never enough.
I need to name all of them so that if I forget what they are, then I could just be like, hey, this is named that. You know? Yeah, exactly. Oh, I had this other idea.
Okay.
They're all going to be like slowly coming back to me. But it was I'm trying to remember exactly what it was going to be. I actually have it in a notebook at my house, which is kind of funny.
It's there. I don't know where it is, but it's there.
Because I wrote it like during high school, so it's just chilling in a notebook for some reason. But
you know what? I actually had a bunch of ideas written down in some of my high school notebooks. Those notebooks are gone.
Ooh, I still have mine. I looked through all of them the other day. It's kind of cool.
You know what? What I used to do was, instead of writing just like these books or like TV scripts, I used to write poetry and songs, which is way more attuned to my brain because it doesn't take nearly enough effort or nearly as much.
My brain overexpands on everything, which is why I can't do shorter stuff like poems.
It's funny.
I do too much.
It's funny because like freshman, sophomore year, I would write a lot of songs and a lot of poems. By junior year, my brain just kind of stopped working. Like I couldn't write anymore, even though I really had good ideas. And that lasted until like right now, and it's still going.
Unfortunate.
How do you fix writer's block?
How
do you fix it?
It's always the question on everyone's mind. How do you fix writer's block? I think it comes down to just trying less.
How do I do that? I'm not even doing anything.
Just
Steve,
I do all of my writing on the fly.
I'm like, Steve, how can I do less than nothing?
Don't ever, like, at least in my case, I've never actually sat down and said, okay, I'm going to write today, and then wrote something.
Okay.
Everything I've ever come up with, like, I'll just be sitting in class or, like, walking home, and I'll be like, oh, hey, I'm going to do that, and then I write it down. That's the best way to do it. And then if you write it down and you have this rough outline and you're really passionate about it, then you can sit down and say, all right, let me bust this out and actually focus on it.
Like, do something with it.
Yeah, so just let the ideas come to you and just put them down until you see one and you're like, okay, I need to do something with that.
I want to write a play, actually.
That'd be cool. What,
That'd
like
be
a
really
Hamilton thing?
No. No,
Dude,
Steve, I'm not writing a musical.
Broadway's the future.
No, like, listen, I am not writing a musical about the Revolutionary War.
Well,
that's not happening.
Well, I mean,
I'm not even gonna write a
cornered
musical.
market.
Screw musicals, but there's that silence. But what I want to do is I want to write a play like No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre, because that was really good.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know what that is, A, go read it, and B, go read it. It's good. Like, you can find it. It's probably not that expensive. You can probably get it in like a bundle of his stories. Keep in mind, this man is very, very depressing. Okay, he's very depressing. He's a nihilist, and there's not a lot of happiness that comes out of his stories. Hold on, I'll be right back. I have to answer the phone. We'll have to cut this out.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna cut this out. Chris is answering the phone. Crazy, right? So how's everybody doing? I'm gonna pretend like I cut this out when Chris comes back. I'm gonna tell him I cut it out, but I didn't actually cut. Oh, he's coming back.
Okay, so that happened.
Yes, it did.
Okay, so wait. Are we actually cutting that or no?
Of course.
Okay, great. So I want to talk about what I felt during that light period of time that I was gone. It was literally like maybe 10 seconds. But so I hear the phone ringing, and I remember that like I was supposed to answer the phone if the specific person called. So I get up, I like rush out of my room, and I listen for who the caller ID says it is. And then I notice in my kitchen, like, the TV is on and the light is on, and I distinctly remember leaving them off. So for a split second, I thought there was paranormal activity in my house.
Nice.
So we can all chalk it up to the fact that I'm a nutcase, and I have no sense of rationality in the real world. You know what? That will be my autobiography that I write. No rationality or sense of reality. Steve, I'm gonna write a song called that.
That sounds like a pretty good song.
Yeah, you know what? It's gonna be a 2-part song, kind of like that one song by Stone Sour. That's the name. I can't remember.
I don't know any songs by that group.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
I know you do.
What would I know?
Like Through Glass?
I might know that.
That one song, I'm looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much time has passed. All I know is that that song, that's Stone Sour.
I think I know that song, yeah. Okay.
That
well,
song.
then I know that one.
Okay, you know at least one. That's good enough. But yeah, it's gonna, the first part's called No Rationality. The second song is Sense of Reality. I don't know where I'm gonna go with it, but I'll write something.
Man, I'm reading like this rough draft chapter of this book.
Okay.
And I really want to remember what it's supposed to be about.
You sound like you're having issues there, buddy.
'Cause this is good. Unfortunately, this first chapter provides no insight on the plot. It's backstory.
It's just all backstory?
Yeah, I just have backstory done.
That means the plot is completely up to your interpretation, and you can take it where you want to.
But I really liked what I had on the plot. I just wish I could remember what it was supposed to be. Because the
Well,
backstory doesn't provide like a very solid plot. All it is, well, not all it is, but it's a story about someone and their childhood of letting their father and younger brother die. Not technically, but being able to save them and them dying in a car accident.
okay.
And it's super deep, and it's like, I'm really enjoying reading that again. But then it just it doesn't go anything from there.
That's it. It's just backstory.
Yeah, and I don't remember what the plot was supposed to be.
Okay, then here's what you do. You take that backstory, you turn it into a movie. Then whatever you decide to do afterwards, you turn it into, like, a sequel.
That'd be cool. That would be kind of cool. But I don't know if you could do a whole movie off of that backstory alone.
Okay, well then you improvise.
Well, so I remember something about prison.
Okay.
Something about a guy who is some kind of vigilante.
Okay.
That word actually brought a little bit more of it back into my head.
Okay.
I think this guy was killing people.
You think
I'm pretty sure he was Robin Hooding the shit out of the world.
Okay.
But not in a steely way, in a killy way.
Okay, so you got like a Robin Hood figurehead character, except he's not stealing things. He is instead murdering things.
Okay.
So wait a minute. So he's almost like the Red Hood from Batman.
That sounds about right. Okay, so here's what I'm remembering. This is what I've pulled back into my brain somehow. So the backstory of him letting his, quote-unquote, letting his father and brother die led to him, like, he goes through school and he goes through life, but his, like, family kind of shunned him, so to speak. They basically just gave him enough to survive.
Yep.
But then I think he ends up going to prison.
Yep.
For something he didn't do.
Was he vigilanteing and just got caught?
No. I think that seems to jar my memory a little more. I think he goes to prison for something that he didn't do, like the justice system fails him, so to speak.
Okay.
And so when he gets out, the combination of guilt mixed with his family shunning him, mixed with the justice system failing him, makes him decide that he needs to take matters into his own hands, and in order to kind of absolve, is that the word?
Maybe.
Absolve his guilt.
Yes.
And
that's the correct word.
And stupid people in the hallway being unnecessarily loud.
That's what you get for being in college.
Right. But to both absolve his guilt and fix the holes in the justice system, he starts like finding criminals and killing them.
So wait a minute. So he's not in prison or being imprisoned because of his vigilantism.
It's what causes
his vigilantism is caused by this false imprisonment.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I got you.
There were more like side things that made it more unique, because I know that idea isn't super unique on its own.
Yeah, but
there were more side things.
Honestly, if you don't find those unique things, you basically just took the story of the Punisher.
Yeah.
Except, instead of imprisonment, I think it was like family death or something. Which this also has.
Wasn't that Spider-Man?
No, because the Punisher kills people.
I know, but isn't that kind of what's happened to Spider-Man?
In a way, kind of.
Well, no, he got his. It's why he used his powers for good, I guess.
I guess. I mean,
wasn't it? He was just gonna be the stupid kid, but then he got cocky and Uncle Ben got killed.
Maybe.
Or Aunt May got killed. One of them got killed, and that's
Uncle
when
Ben
he was
got
like,
killed. Aunt May was still alive.
Yeah, and that's when he was like, "All right, I have to help people now." I think that's what the series of events was.
You know what? Keep in mind, my first encounter with Spider-Man was basically like that 2001 movie with Tobey Maguire.
For some reason, that's most of mine as well, and it was terrible.
I liked it. I liked that movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I did like that movie.
I think you're in the minority there.
I don't care. I liked it. It was good.
All right. Well, To each his own.
Then
Okay.
again, to be fair, I haven't seen it since I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, that's another part of it.
So, I mean, it might be fond memories, and it might actually be a terrible movie. I don't know.
Yeah, either or.
I gotta find it.
So let's get just a broad list of what we've pulled out from our various brains during this episode. So we have, in terms of TV shows, we have that MK Ultra based show,
Yep.
which isn't. Is it going to be about MK Ultra or is it going to be MK Ultra esque?
No, it's gonna be about MK Ultra.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay. Like take that show. What was it? Lone Survivor or something like that, or Designated Survivor.
Designated Survivor. Yeah.
Designated Survivor. Okay, now take that, but like put it in an MK Ultra fashion,
Okay. I could
and
work
you know
with
just
that.
switch it up.
And then we have the one that we talked about before about the pure guy. That's what my notes say. My notes say pure guy.
Pure guy. Yep. We'll call it pure guy. Who cares?
For books, we have the one about the professor.
Yep.
And the more I learn about the vigilante one.
Yeah.
I spelled vigilante wrong. I spelled vigilanti.
Vigilante.
Anything else? We have. I'm gonna write down the meme-mentary, but
I was gonna say meme-mentary, even though we're not gonna do
go
anything
very far
with it.
Yeah.
It's
did we have
still
any other
funny.
movie-based things? Can you think of any? I have one if you want to hear it.
I thought we were gonna do the movie thing about the professor.
Oh, that could work too.
That's what I was thinking we were gonna.
I had that under books, but I'll put it under both.
We can do a movie out of that.
Yeah. Most books
I honestly
and
think
movies.
a movie would be better about it.
Yeah, books and movies are relatively interchangeable. It's all about what works better with it. I think a movie
really.
might work better for
I
that.
think a
You're
movie
right.
would work better.
But I do have this plot I can just run through because it's kind of short.
Do it.
Oh, there's a typo in it too. Boop, fixed. Okay, so the point of the movie is about. It's kind of in modern times, and then one day, everyone wakes up, and unknowing, like, they don't know how it happened, but everyone has the knowledge in their head that it's the last day of Earth, pretty much. So that all at once, everyone kind of just comes to this weird acceptance that the world's just going to end after today.
Okay, that's interesting.
And so the point of the movie kind of follows kind of how different places and different people like react to their knowledge that it's the end of the world.
So are we gonna have multiple main characters with that one, like one for each culture?
Maybe not main characters. There is one underlying main character.
Okay, but like I see what you mean.
But there'll be a lot of sub characters in their different places.
Okay, I gotcha.
But it focuses mostly on one man that
one man's journey
that doesn't accept it.
Yeah.
He's like trying to figure out, because like how everyone's like, okay, end of the world, and they go from there. He's kind of like, wait, could it not be the end of the world? Like,
wait,
why?
what?
Yeah, he's like basically the only person questioning it.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, what? How did we get to this?
Yeah, and so it follows him, and then like him trying to, like him talking with people and seeing how they're accepting of it for some reason. Like, and he's like trying to figure it out, like what exactly is going on.
Yep.
And then the end of the movie, this is the only thing that I have like a full blown, like most of what I have is the ending.
Okay.
And I really like it. So everyone, like he's in his home at the end, and everyone's kind of like sitting around, you know, basically being like, all right, this is it. It was fun, everybody. Kind
Good
of
times. Bye.
knowing that it's it. And then at exactly midnight, everything freezes except for that guy.
Yeah.
And he's like able to move, but nothing else is moving. Like time, the people, like nothing is
And
going on.
It's stopped.
And so he's freaking out, clearly. And he runs out to see like if anything else is like that. And as soon as he like exits the house and gets away from the house, it like blows up.
Oh?
And so he runs like as far as he can. He just like runs away. And once he stumbles like across this forest, and he tries to like hide and like figure out what's going on. And as he's hiding, he hears like footsteps, and he sees this group of I don't know what they're gonna be, strange looking individuals,
Okay.
so to speak. And they're like storming his house, like what was left of the house that blew up.
Okay.
And as he sees that and tries to run away from it, he is stopped by someone who is like holding him at gunpoint.
Oh.
And they yell something to the group, and they get the group to come to him, and they have him like strapped down pretty much. And someone comes out that looks like the leader of the group, and they speak English, and they explain to him that they were able to, that they're like another planet almost.
I was gonna say, hold on, before you go on, I was gonna say, how much you want to bet this is gonna be aliens?
They're technically aliens.
Boom,
yes.
aliens.
And they've been planning for years and generations to take over Earth.
Okay.
And their plan had come to that day where they were gonna freeze all of like Earth's people and time and atmosphere, like just altogether freeze it and destroy it so that they could repopulate it. But they found out that something had broken that, and that they like something wasn't frozen or wasn't mind controlled, and it was him. And so they found him, and they were gonna kill him. And he like tries to save himself and tries to like beg for his life, but they say that they need to repopulate the planet by first exterminating all of it, and then they kill him.
Okay, so it's a farce plot.
Basically.
I was gonna say, is it gonna be like a comic plot or a farce plot? It's not tragic. So it's like either this guy's gonna make it, or it's gonna be a farce plot. Nothing happens. It all goes to hell, and they win.
Yeah, and then the very end is them as they're going through the wreckage. One of them finds his phone.
Okay.
And the thing on his phone is a video of him basically explaining what he found, like what he found through the day, like explaining all of the things that he found out from the different people and all of the stuff that happened, and pretty much summarizing what had happened and what had taken place.
So it is a farce plot, though.
Yeah.
Very important to me.
Effectively.
Okay, that's cool.
The purpose of the movie is kind of, most of what I do is psychological. It's psychology based because it's what I study and also what I'm just ridiculously into. Like a lot of these I wrote before I became a psych major. So if anyone's wondering how I stumbled across doing psychology, this is it.
Found it.
But the point of the movie is to kind of analyze how different cultures would react to such an unfathomable event. So to speak. So like the ending is cool and I liked it, but it's not the main focus of the movie. The main focus of the movie is the different reactions to this event, so to speak.
We need to put that one into play.
What?
We need to put that one into play. Really.
Yeah.
That was good.
I'm gonna mark that one down too. I'm just gonna call it Alien.
Aliens.
Yeah. So I think for future weeks we need to. I think we should focus on, because we have close to 2 things to work on for each category.
Yeah.
So I think we should take a week to kind of dive into one of each thing. Like one show, one book, one movie, and kind of just develop the idea into more.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's probably where we're going to leave it for tonight, as we have been invited by the lovely Teresa to join her on her show as guest this week.
Yeah. We're going to actually go record that probably pretty soon here.
Like right after this.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually put a link to that down below. The channel and the specific, well, not specific episode. I don't know who's going to upload first, but I will have the channel in the link below.
Yes.
Or in the description below.
It will be there.
We'll be on it. I'm excited. I personally don't know what to expect.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to try to be myself, which is always not the best course of action.
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting. I'm happy to do it. So be on lookout for that. If you like hearing us talk for more than an hour a week, I don't know why you would, but
yeah, come on, bro.
You got good reason this time. So yeah, that's what you have to look forward to. Check us out on Emanation Forever. Check us out next week where we focus on a TV show, a book, and a movie that we'll probably decide on at some point during the week.
We'll get there, I swear.
I think our music things are going to be specific weeks dedicated just to music.
Okay, that's cool.
because I don't like tossing music into something like talking about movies, books, and TV shows. I feel like it's in its own category.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, we'll have music weeks too. So yeah, if you like us, check us out on our social medias down below. I'm streaming Rock Band every weekday. I've done it every weekday so far. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'll be streaming again Friday. I don't know when this will be uploaded. If it's uploaded on Friday, I already streamed. Sorry.
Sorry.
But I've been doing noon to 3:15-ish every day. So, yeah. Check me out there. Anything you have to say, Chris?
No.
I'll take that as a no.
Well, I did say the word no, but in a very odd fashion. I just went no.
Nice. This has been a fun week of you cutting out more than usual.
Good times. You know what?
Yeah.
At least you can expect entertainment. If not from our content, from our various bloopers.
Horrible lack of professionalism. So
oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Yay.
Did I just steal PewDiePie's outro?
It's not the first thing we've stolen from PewDiePie.